Hi, my name is Peter, and I'm going to quickly walk you through this tool, why you need it, what within the tool, and finally how to develop it. We at Honeyguide are here to help you. If you need any further assistance, please contact me using help@honeyguide.org. This video will help you understand what the Communication Strategy Toolkit is. This tool is part of the Honeyguide Toolkit and an important tool for your WMA to have. This tool will help you to improve in communication with all the stakeholders of the WMA. This tool is collaborated with all the Honeyguide Toolkit to help the construction of a better managed WMA. This tool will help the WMA reach a more professional level of communications. This tool will help set up a communication supervision foundation, which are key messages, the person communicating, and the target groups for the governing members of the WMA as approved by the AA. It also helps to build a transparent information exchange structure, which helps to build a more trustworthy reputation for the WMA. This tool is designed to improve the information processing and sharing procedures in your WMA. This custom-made tool is created to help the integration of information from all the other tools in the WMA toolkit, making sure all the communication in your WMA has a proper channel, format, targeted audience, and the right key message. The Communication Strategy tool shows its importance in linking internal and external communication in the WMA. This link develops a positive outcomes like raise revenue for the WMA, build strong political support for the WMA within the communities, meaning communities know and understand what the WMA is doing. Improve performance of the WMA as a team and secure the value of the WMA among us, communities, partners, and other stakeholders. Without such a tool, the message can change constantly. WMA cannot have a consistent message and the audience may get confused. Messaging, when designed correctly, will help to strengthen the WMA brand. This is important for the WMA customers and market to know what the WMA products, opportunities, and success. Understanding what your community values and making sure your messages are targeted to what the community interests are. Ensuring the community knows what the WMA are doing. The challenges will provide the community an opportunity to engage, trust, and support the WMA. This tool is managed by someone in management within the WMA. It is his or her job to make sure that the information flow is appropriate and that all the channels of information created by the WMA go to the right audience and maintain a positive relationship between the WMA and its stakeholders. Does your WMA have a format of sharing information with all its members and stakeholders? When we say communication tool, it doesn't just mean that people talk to each other through word of mouth. The tool paints a web of the appropriate means of communication used for every WMA. This involves numerous principles and means of sharing information that has intention towards all its directed audience. What does the WMA use to convey its message to its audience? Here we look at all the means of communication the WMA will use to reach a specific audience for an intended message. The The WMA will use tools like reports, emails, and meetings to make sure all the intended audience knows what is going on in the WMA. Now, how does the WMA convey its messages to its audience in order to get the point across? Here we look at a quiz that will help the WMA make its message clear and easier for the audience to understand. Here, the WMA looks at the type of audience of an intended message and then looks for ways to make the audience understand the message more. The WMA does not just randomly share information. Each audience has their interest. Communities might want to know about the human-wildlife conflict efforts of the WMA. And the conservation stakeholders might have more interest in wildlife and habitat. All the information shared by the WMA must have an intended audience with intended outcome as well as intended timeline. The communication plan is a blueprint of the WMA communication goals and means on how to reach that goal. It is considered as a roadmap on how to reach the WMA communication goals. We also have a communication policy. Now, these are standards of communication set by the WMA. These policies include the type of message to be shared in the WMA network, the type of intended audience for all the WMA information distribution, types of channels that carry these messages and their level of reach. How does the WMA get feedback for all this information? This means that all the information in this system has to abide by these standards. Without monitoring, it's like walking in the dark. You need to measure how your audience are receiving the messages. In this part of the tool, the WMA management has a format that helps to evaluate all the feedback from the information shared by all the tools of the WMA. This gives the WMA an advantage of seeing how the audience responds to different kinds of messages. It also helps the WMA design new formats of messaging, tactics, and platform that has maximum impact to its intended audience. Communication strategy gives you the WMA as a whole a systematic approach on the exchange of information. In order to avoid the mismanagement of sensitive information that could damage the WMA reputation. The individual responsible for communications will create communication reports that show the flow of information within the WMA to help depict how well the WMA handles its communications. Now, in order for you to have this strategy, you need to understand your audience and what messages and what channels you use, which will help you to develop means of communicating different information to different audiences. It is important to start with what you already have. Then you can build around the existing communication tactics. The goal here is to have a document that has all the guidelines that is also approved by the AA. HoneyGuide has a template available on our website that you can access to guide you through the process of developing your own tactics, messages, and amazing stories of your work. If you are doing such a great work, let your audience know. I know that they do want to hear from you. This tool will help you make those messages more valuable to your audiences. My name is Peter from HoneyGuide, and you are welcome to reach out to me for any help or advice as you embark to developing your communication systems.